Hello, everybody. This is DearMamaSal, and it is Friday evening, which means we need a light. I've got to put the light on. It's smile time. And what we're going to be doing today, for those of you who, there we go, that's a bit better. For those of you who are not regulars, let me just explain. What we do is on a Friday evening, we try to find reasons to smile at ourselves and at the lives that we live, just because it's pretty amusing most times. The other thing is, if you are watching for the first time, feel free to participate if you want to. If I can let you know up front, one of the things that we find is that people don't necessarily know that the video goes onto replay after I finish the live broadcast. So just be aware of that. And so obviously don't put anything in the comments that you don't want me to repeat, or that you don't want me to repeat and have it online. So we do take the chat down normally within about an hour or so, but the truth is that the actual comments will stay there. If I'm talking about it, it'll stay. So welcome. And we've had people that have just watched for the longest time. Hello, Jody. Hello, Isabel. Hello there. Wait, I can do this. Sandy from Nottingham. Did I get that right? What are you doing up at this hour? No, that can't be right. Is that right? Because I'm going 8 hours ahead of now. That's pretty early in the morning. But we welcome you anyway. Isabel, great to see you again. How are you doing? And for those of you who don't know, Isabel is from Quebec. Farmer, good to see you, buddy, and good day to you too, and I hope all is well. From PJ's mommy is from Canada. Why did I think it was England? Oh, well, I got it all wrong. Never mind. And Jody, please make a note so I don't get it wrong a third time. Okay, so today we're going to be talking a bit more about friendship. We were talking at lunchtime today about what it takes to guarantee to make a friend. And Farmer, for those of you who don't know, is sitting all the way, well, the last time we checked in with him, he was sitting down in Australia. And you're never quite sure with Farmer because he's inclined to move every now and then. First of all, Farmer, how are you and your good lady? And secondly, what's the weather like? Because you must be about to go into fall, and hopefully that will help a little bit with your forest fires and things. I noticed they've been pretty quiet about the forest fires on our side on the news. So I just wondered, have they died down, or is it just that, you know, they've got too much other news that they're putting ahead of it? It'd be good to know if you care to share. And no more moving. You become a full-time permanent employee. Well, can I share that with the people on the Facebook page? Hi, Judith. Good to see you. How are things in Ireland? Farmer, let me know if I can share that with the peeps. And if the answer is yes, Jody, can you just put a note for me to... Yes, I can. Okay, fine. Awesome. And so the fires have settled down. Nothing left to burn. Isn't that so sad? You know, I don't often do these online things, but I do want to tell you I did donate to help the koala bears. I just, you know, that broke my heart. But great to know that the damage is done, and hopefully now it's time to rebuild. By the way, talking about that, I wanted to give you a little tip for the day. Do you ever buy your herbs in little containers like this at the supermarket? Because what I wanted to show you is a few days ago, I bought some mint, and it, was drying up already. And so if you drop it into water, it'll, freshen right up. And those mint leaves are looking really brand new. But the other thing is, I took the leaves that I knew were dying, and what did I do with them, so? I have them right here. There they are. And I just rolled them up in paper towel, and I have dried them. So these are the leaves that came off those sprigs. I dried them immediately. And then what I did was I put the empty stalks, with the exception of the very ends of them, into water. And what I want to show you is, if you look very carefully, you can see new leaves starting where I ripped off the old ones. Can you see that? All right, so I just thought I'd let you know that. So my attitude is this: I can keep, uh, growing leaves on this for until it grows roots, and then I'll plant it. It's just like. Now, for those of you who know that I started planting the seeds for this is butter lettuce, and if you look very carefully, I don't know if you can see this, but on this one there is a third leaf starting to grow. I was very excited about that. And there's another one. Yes, can you see this other one? This one here has got a third leaf growing as well. So very exciting for me. The tomatoes were not as successful. I've got one that's still going, so I'm going to plant another batch. So there we go. That's from Sal's garden, or garden to be, because as you know, I'm going to really work hard at growing my own produce in my tiered garden at the back. So you'll be getting lots of updates from the garden. All right. So starting today, we were talking about friendship. Oh, wait. And anybody who's watching either now or on the replay that wasn't there, who was there at lunchtime today when we were talking about it, I was talking about my perfume being in a very interesting bottle. And that is the bottle. Isn't that interesting? So I've always loved just the shape of the bottle itself has always struck me as really interesting. Okay, those are all the bits. And before I start, a couple of things. Obviously, if you are new, please subscribe and please click the bell here, which will mean that every time we're about to broadcast, you'll get it notified if you would like that. And the other thing is make sure you follow us on Facebook and Twitter, because that's where we update you during the week. However, I want to update you on a couple of things. Number one, Lauren started her university course, and if you can believe it, she managed to sign up for the wrong course. And I'm certain that some of you will have done that yourself, so you know what it feels like, but she's soldiering on with the course that she actually accidentally ended up in, which I think is wonderful. If you believe in coincidences, which I don't. So we're going to encourage her to carry on and complete the course that she's on, which is, I think, very similar, Jody. Am I correct? Very similar to the one that she was going to do. Yeah, I think we all can relate to that. Beth seems to be in good spirits, and because she was having a bit of a tough time last week. But I'll wait until she comes back in again just to check about what has happened, whether she's managed to control those negative thoughts. All right, Nana. I got an update from Nana to say that Rick's doing fine. The medication is working really well. You'll remember he was in hospital last week. The medication is doing really well. And however, because of Rick being down, it means that Nana's had to do more. And now, of course, her knee is really causing her problems. And from what I can gather, it's excruciatingly painful for her. So thoughts and prayers for Nana. Yeah, Farmer's saying, I've had my oops moments from time to time. Well, that's what I thought, Rick, that Farmer, so many people can relate to, doing something online and you hit the wrong button and you end up with the wrong thing. And so I think it's a wonderful lesson in just that those things happen. Doesn't mean you're stupid or an idiot or whatever. It just means that those things do happen every now and then. So, our thoughts and prayers. And what I love about it is the chances are she's going to end up in a course that is much more fun maybe than the one, or maybe she'll meet people somehow through this, I don't know, but we'll see. So we got some fun quotes, and some of them we've had before, but that's okay with me because, some days we don't need these quotes and some days we really do. And so I'm pretty sure, I am pretty sure that what you will find out is that these quotes still speak to you. Farmer saying, I'd like to start a GoFundMe page so Sal can buy a chair. Do you know something? It is out of choice that I am standing to do the vlogs now, not because I can't afford a chair. But I thank you for the kind thought, Farmer. I've lost 15 pounds this year, and I'm working on the next 15. So, but one of the things I found is it's not necessarily about exercise, it is about movement. So even if I'm here doing the broadcast, if I can be moving, I've got, it helps my circulation in my feet, and it helps all sorts of things. And so I am trying very hard, Farmer, not to sit down during the day. Whereas I used to spend a lot of time sitting down doing stuff, I will actually stand up to use my computer. I will, try not to sit down until the evening. And that's when I do it. By the way, for those of you who know the story that I got the new television, got a little bit of a technical problem going. It's a bit like YouTube. I'm watching television, but what is happening is there is a delay. And so I've got like lagging on my TV, which is not good. So they're coming to fix it. Hi there, Lily. Good to see you. And so the interesting thing is that they were going to come on Monday, and I suddenly realized I can't have them come on Monday afternoon because you know what I do on Monday afternoons now. I need to go to the craft group, and keep up with the local gossip. For those of you who don't know, I've moved into a new home in a community, and it's got a craft thing where everybody gets together. But what I've noticed is they discuss what's going on everywhere. Oh, I met new neighbors today. The sun came out, so guess what? So did people. And I decided if the sun's out and people are out, I need to be walking because I will meet new people, and I did. I met new people who are over the way here, charming, big Seahawk fans. So that I had something to say to them. So that, it was just like, okay, I got their names, Carol and Slim Jim. All right, so the way I remembered it, do you guys do that? I link names to things. Do you guys do that? So I knew it was Carol. So I said, okay, in my head, I went Christmas Carol. So, when I think about it, I will remember Christmas, and I know it's either Noel or Carol. That's how, and I know it wasn't Noel, so it definitely was Carol. And then Jim, I just, for some reason, linked Slim Jim to him, although I've got to tell you something, he wasn't, but a delightful guy and very good at pruning. And so we had a little discussion about my flowering red maple that is outside my house, and I asked whether I should be pruning it, and he said, no, not yet. I said, you'll let me know when, and he said, yep, sure, I'll keep an eye on it for you and let you know when to prune it. But at the moment, let it flower, don't do anything with it. I go, okay, fine. How come you can prune your trees, but never mind. So here we go. First quote, and this one we've had before, but I just love it to bits. I'd walk through fire for my best friend. Well, maybe not fire. That would be a bit dangerous, but super humid room, but not too humid because, the hair. Oh, how about this one? In the cookie of life, friends are the chocolate chips. And we were talking today about, some of the things it takes to make friends. And, we've made so many different friends online. And it really frustrates me when people say, yeah, but they're not real friends. How do you feel about that? When people say to you, yeah, you met people online, but they're not real friends. I'm very interested to hear how you guys react to that. How do you answer it when people say that? Because quite honestly, it is not my experience. My experience was that when Ozzy was in Bali and had a heart attack, and guess who he contacted? Right? Literally in the ambulance being rushed to hospital, he was on his cell phone, and guess who he sent a text to? And I'm going, what the? And he goes, I wanted to let you know. Now, is that a friend or what? All right, so Jude is saying, I think it's a different kind of friendship. How many of you have found that it's a very different kind of friendship and can be an incredibly important friendship too? So I just want to be aware that, you know, not everybody, but people diss it, and I just smile and I go, it's not my experience. Yeah, and Jody's saying very real friendships are created and maintained via the internet. Now, some pretty cruddy ones as well, Jody, right? Because everything is balance. But to have this broad brush that says, people you meet on internet, they're not your real friends. It was like I must admit, somebody saying to me when I was talking about Benji or Dougie or Cisco, and somebody said, "Well, who's that?" And I said, "One of my sons." Well, they're not your real sons. I go, no, no, they're actually better than real sons. But it is interesting. Hi, Erin. Good to see you. And hi there, Kimmy. Kimmy, what's the update on your husband and how are you doing, honey? Let us know. And Erin, I know you had a tough time the last time we spoke to you. How are your liver numbers? Any update on that? And let us know. Please keep us. If you can't let me know, please let Jody know so that we can, and let us know what we can repeat so that I can keep people informed. Yeah, sorry to hear that you're sick, Kimmy, because you've been so busy looking after your husband. In a way, that doesn't surprise me. One of the things that they say, um, is that the caregivers are, sometimes, oh, you're sick with asthma. Okay. And yeah, just that person who contacted me on the sly there. Got it. Thank you for letting me know. I really appreciate it. I won't repeat it unless you give me permission. So, how many of you relate to this one? I am the friend you have to explain to your other friends. I'm pretty certain I come with a warning. You know what I mean? You're about to meet Sal. You need to know about Sal, right? So Erin's saying got tested this week, and from what I saw, they're going up. But I've not heard from the doctor yet to see what she wants to do. Also believe I'm getting sicker. I'm very sorry. Yeah, Beth, I did get the private message. Thank you, and I will not repeat it. I'm sorry to hear that you're sick again, Erin. But hopefully they will do something to help you. That's really sad to hear. Beth, on a personal note, please write to me and let me know what, if anything, we can do. I'd appreciate that. So let me see. How many of you find that this one brings a smile to your face? It says, I can tell by your sarcastic undertones, your rude comments, and your sheer lack of common decency that we should be best friends. Jody, you knew I would love that one. And thanks to Jody who put these quotes together for us today. Jody's doing a wonderful job of taking some of the pressure off me and helping me put the broadcast together. So let's give a big hand to Jody for the job that she does. And she's got some really great quotes. Yeah, Erin's going, I'm totally the one you have to explain. Yeah, I agree, Erin. And it's about the pink, really. And nobody warned me that there was going to be that much pink. I mean, I expected to see pink, Erin, but, not a sea of it. But now I got that message. I got it clear now. How about this one? Real friends don't get offended when you insult them. They smile and call you something even more offensive. And what is one of my favorites that I use on my friends? Tell somebody who cares. You know, I don't use it on people I don't know, but if I got somebody that I know has got a pretty good sense of humor and they're giving me a sub story of some sort, I'll go, yeah, that sounds pretty good. Tell somebody who cares. And it's guaranteed to bring a smile because they know I care. And it isn't about that. It is about, just getting them to smile. So, it is so amazing, isn't it? This one I loved as well. Well done, Jody. Jody found this one. It says, you don't have to be crazy to be my friend. I'll train you. So, how many of you have got friends that have trained you to be even more crazy than you were to start with? I'm pretty sure that some of you have. And I will never ever be the same after meeting Angela. And whenever I want to laugh, I literally two names come to my mind, obviously Ozzy and then Angela, because Angela had a way of making me laugh that, was second to none, as Erin knows only too well. She was one of those people you just had to look at her and you'd start laughing because you knew she was going to come up with some incredible one-liner. She is just an amazing straight person to my sense of humor, if you know what that is. And this quote I love too. It said, I hope we're friends until we die. And then I hope we stay ghost friends and walk through the walls and scare the shit out of people. How many of you think that would be a fun thing to do? Right. So Erin's saying I was Leah, you were watching Leah's video the other day, and I remember how shocked you were with my room and the pink. Yes, I definitely was very shocked. But it was just like, it's your room. It makes you happy. I think that is so perfect. How was my walk, Jonas? Thank you so much, and good to see you again, Jonas. Jonas, it was great. I did a combo, Jonas. I went for a walk. Then I went out and did a bit of work in the garden, and then I got onto the total gym, and that whole process took half an hour. But Jonas, this is the interesting part, and I want to show you why I did that. And by the way, about an hour later, it started to pour with rain, so I really did good timing on that one. But I just want to show you why that was a good thing to do, and I will show you in 1 second when I can get to it. Okay, so Jonas, I don't know if you can see there what it did to my heart rate. Right? Took my heart rate right up. That was the part of that walk was uphill, literally, as you can see. And then I quietly came back downhill. And then I, did a bit of work in the garden. And then I did the turtle gym. So I exercised my heart, my creativity, and my muscles on the turtle gym. I'm trying to build my core. So I was amazed, and it was more exercise than, if I just walk, it doesn't push it as far. But if I do, for some reason, if I do the walk as the warm up and then do gardening, for some reason, gardening, I just am amazed with this. It is amazing how that pushes the heart rate up. Gardening, really, weeding, with a trowel, good for the chins. All right, let's have the next one. Friendship. It's about finding people who are your kind of crazy. Yeah, that touches my soul. Um, I believe one of the greatest gifts of the internet is that we have found people who are our sort of crazy. We have found we're not alone in being just a little bit crazy. There are other people out there just like us. So, talking about that, I just wonder, Varma, if you've got any updates for us, because we haven't heard from you for a while. And certainly, I mean, obviously, you've got the full-time job. That's awesome. But if you have any other stuff, because I know that some of the old-time viewers, although they are quiet, they do listen every now and then because I hear from them. And I'm certain they'd love to know how you're doing. All right, that's awesome. And how about this one? How many of you have ever had this one and relate to it? Real friendship is when your friend comes over to your house and you both just take a nap. I think in relationship, I don't know about the rest of you, but in relationship, I always found out that, you know, there was something really cozy about taking a nap in the afternoon together. You know, it's just like life is so busy, and sometimes you just need to stop and not or have to keep talking and thinking and creating and doing. Yeah, Erin is saying about Angela. She said, "Yeah, um, I just used to laugh every time she started to talk because I knew something funny was coming out. You know, it's just like she just bounced off me so well. It was amazing. Hi there, Nana. Good to see you. And Nana, I was just updating people about Rick and your knee. So feel free to add any bits to that. Um, you know, it's really, really difficult, but hopefully with Rick feeling a bit better, maybe you can rest up a little bit more now. How about this one? How many of you relate to this one? I think we'll be friends forever because we're both too lazy to find new friends. You know, I think that is so cute. Oh, I'm glad that today has been a bit better for you, Nana. Hi there, Nyasha. It's always good to see you, honey. Thank you for popping in. How many of you going, yeah, the friends I've got, you know, I'll keep them. It's easier than trying to find new ones. Or how about this one? There is nothing better than a friend unless it's a friend with chocolate. Or maybe a friend with ice cream. Or maybe a friend with wine. You know, thank you, Nana. It actually, I was saying at lunchtime, it actually is a really great top because it's actually very slimming. And it actually surprised me. Um, so I have to say that's an amazing top when it makes, you know, it just really did make me feel that I had lost that weight. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. You know me, I love my black, white, and red, my Canadian colors, you know. I don't know. For me, for some reason, I just feel better in those straight black, white, red are my colors. You know, any combinations of those really strange. Maybe because I'm a pretty black and white person. I don't know. You know, I'm sort of. You will see me occasionally wear other colors, but mostly. And it's funny, isn't it, that this is striking because of the pattern, I think, as well. And it's great. I love it. All right, Nash is saying, once my health is great, I'll be coming in. Good. And And when I can't come to the broadcast, I'll be thinking of you all. Nyasha, did you see the shape of the bottle of the perfume just before you go? Because I know you were there when we were talking about it. I actually found the bottle. So let me know if you want to see it. Took me a while to find it though. Because I went to go and get it for you to show you guys. And then, oh, you'd love to see it. Okay, so here's the bottle. And it's a very unusual shape. You see it? And that's why I said, it's surrounded by black, but it has this, oval of glass inside with the perfume. Isn't that unusual? Yeah. And it's, just so you know, it's, oh, you're going to do some shopping, Farmer. Well, but we've all got shopping list for you if you want. Just ship it over. Yeah, I've always liked the bottle as much as I have the perfume. But isn't that true though? It's like I first tried it because of the shape of the bottle, and then once I tried it, I loved it. It suited me really well. And I must admit that literally people have stopped me and asked me what it is. I mean, that they've been so stunned by it, but it's a more musty, I think that's what you call it, musky, not musty, musky type of perfume. And, it's not a light, airy one. It's like grab you by the whatsits. You've got a Costco store near you, which is great for you, but I actually don't have to go. I need to go to IKEA, and I won't go on my own, Farmer. And because, if I go to IKEA on my own, I come back with half of IKEA. So I've arranged with my friend Patty that she will go with me so that I will get the two things that I need. And maybe she'll allow me one extra, but, I said, make sure I don't buy up IKEA. Do any of you relate to that? I can't go to Costco for the same reason. I think my first visit to Costco cost me about $2,000 or something ridiculous. It was just like, oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. And I just went, okay, I won't be going back there again in a hurry. And how about this one? It says, I'll text you 50 times in a row and feel no shame. You're my friend. You literally signed up for this. um, yeah, Nyasha. But Nyasha, can I repeat that again in the evening broadcast, Nyasha? Just let me know. Oh, it's interesting. The PJ mommy is saying that, yes, I can relate. Costco is bad for us too. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Yeah, Jody said I can relate to that. I am a terrible in ultra with makeup. Yes, we all have our little things, right? All right. So obviously, Nana, that is an incredible quote from somewhere, and I don't know where you found it, but it's great. My lipstick needs to arrive first, and my perfume to linger after I have. That's an interesting quote. Where did you find that? Um, yes, you can't, or I'm. That confuses me, Nyasha. Yes tells me that I think I can repeat. Yeah, Nyasha found out, at the age of 35, that she has club feet. And her parents never told her, nor did she ever understand that, nor did she ever have the braces to assist that. But now she's getting the help, and that's wonderful. And she said she's still in shock, and I'm sure you are, honey. But what you can do, what you can do is just, uh, you know, learn from this point onwards, and that is just what it is. Oh, Nana's saying that she made it up. Well, I want to tell you, if you made that up, you've missed your vacation writing birthday cards and things, because that's really poetic. All right. right, so Judith's saying that would be me too, and maybe you can order them online for my care. I could, but I would rather go and be with a friend and make it an outing. I'm trying to do things because I'm trying to make new friends I'm trying to force myself out more than normal, Judith. So any opportunity I can find to do something with a friend is what I'm doing. Okay. Friendship is so weird. You just pick a human you've met and you're like, I like this one. And you just do stuff with them. Can you think of anybody that you met where you instinctively, when you met them, went, "Oh yeah, this is my sort of crazy, this one I can get on with." I'm trying to think, and we were talking about that at lunchtime, where, when you met everybody online, and we've got a pretty good group of extended family here. At what point in the relationship? Hi, Em. At what point in the relationship did you decide they were going to be your friend? And was just watching the thing about Benji with the bottle. Yeah, the incredible bottle. It is a beautiful bottle, though. Seriously, I'm into pretty bottles, and with all this Chinese writing on the back. But it's just like, by the way, what's in the bottle is even better. Amazing, what's in the bottle. Oh, that is so cute, Farmer. Farmer saying that he and Tracy went to see Sonic the Hedgehog last week. That tells me everything I need to know about your relationship. I think when you can go and watch a kids' movie together like that and enjoy it, that is wonderful. It's like I went, I don't know if you heard, Farmer, but I went with my friend Marnie to go and see a Wonderful Day in the Neighborhood, because it was just like I wanted to go with somebody. I knew it would be a good movie and I wanted to remember it for a long time. You just got a Farmer saying he just got a bottle of chocolate Baileys. Okay, that's throwback to my original days of broadcasting. Where if they kept me talking till after midnight, which they regularly did, then I would start drinking Baileys. And you can imagine what happened after that. It was in those days that I met Oz. Yeah. Now, isn't this one true? If I send you my ugly selfies, our friendship is real. I think that is so true. All right, so Niash is saying, Mama Sal, you told me I should forgive my parents for not knowing how the treatment for my number of illnesses, but I can't. That's your choice, Niasha. I didn't say you should. I was saying you might want to. You might choose to. Because the longer you stay angry, the longer it affects your karma. And I just would prefer for your karma to be clear because you deserve that. All right, Farmer, good to see you, and hugs to Tracy as well. Um, and can we just put a note up afterwards, Jody, that we heard that they've been to the movies. So Niasha, it's not that you should. That's a guilt thing. I'm recommending that yeah, that you just forgive them and move on. I'm pretty sure if they had known then what they know now, that this would have had a different outcome, but they didn't. And as I said, I've got things in my past that, I've just learned to just realize that people didn't know any better, and I just need to get on with my life, right? Getting angry with them doesn't change the past at all. Doesn't change, getting angry with them does not change the situation you're in now. It just makes it worse, quite honestly. And I think that they will do everything they can to help you now that they know. I really do. But it is 100% your choice. And, if you choose to stay angry, keep talking about it, Nyasha, so that we can keep helping you work through that anger. And, I, for one, totally understand. I've been there, so I relate to that. Right? And, this is not about guilt and who was right and who is wrong. It just is one of those sad things that happens. All right, so Nash is saying that she should, and the parent says she should be grateful for how God made her. Those words towards me were very hurtful. Everything I complained about, they blamed it on me not trying hard enough. Yeah, that is really sad. Yeah, and as Judith is saying, parents don't get everything right, right? Nasha, you will get over it, honey. That's the good news. You will get over it because you will see that being angry with them doesn't make it any better. So, one step at a time. You're doing a great job, Nasha. I am so proud of how far you have come and the fact that you can now talk to your doctor like an adult and have, those sort of conversations, and now you can get the help. Emma's saying chronic illness, family, friends won't always understand, and you will lose people along the way. It is tough. Yeah, it is tough, isn't it? Especially when you have a chronic illness. And I am certain there are a lot of people in this room that totally get that. And so just one step at a time, do the best you can. And if you still have anger, keep working with it. You will, the part of our journey is to learn how to overcome these things. All right. And this one, I would really love to have Angela stick up on the wall. No one will ever be as entertained by us as us. I am certain during that trip down to Vegas that there were people shaking their heads going, I don't know why that's so funny, but it was to us. um, all right, so Aaron's saying, I think deciding if somebody else is going to be your friend online, it's how you will connect, and there is no time limit to. Yeah, it is amazing, isn't it? When I look at some of the friends that I've made online, and I go, wow, I can't even remember where that switch came from being somebody that I had known to somebody that I chose to make a friend. And what we were talking about at lunchtime, and what I would like you to think about is what changed in you to turn somebody who was an acquaintance, somebody you just happened to know, into somebody that now is a friend. Something has to shift. I think part of it has to do with trust, but also, yeah, that's what Judith's saying at the same time. All right, boy, snap there, Judith. Judith's saying it's who you trust. Yeah, do you trust this person? And if you do, you will make a friend of them. And to the level of your trust as well. I found, for instance, that I am very picky about people telling me things, and I will go back to them and say, may I share this? Because I really want to not abuse the friendship, because sometimes people tell me things and it's like I want to make sure I get permission to share it before I do. Yeah, and Nana's saying, I think of you as a friend, Sal, right? And it's so, it's like, a number of us here think of each other as friends and, at different levels of friendship. And I think it's amazing that we do that. And, well, Nana and I have actually met each other. That makes it a different scenario. But to me, it's like, it's amazing the friendships that get built. And yes, she's saying, yes, Nana, I know, but it was just so hurtful. You wouldn't have liked to hear it. Thank God I joined this group because although I'm saddened by this, I'm actually not depressed like I was before Mama Sal. Yeah, you're doing a great question. Go ahead, ask the question. And and Nyasha's just asking Nana to let her know what it is that she should read. All right, so M saying, if you've known somebody online for a lot of years and you both meet for the first time, what changes? Okay, are we talking male female or female female? In because I think it's different. If you were asked, if you had asked Becca and Jenny Jen, they actually met up, and their friendship would have shifted because they met physically. When I met Nana, what changed for me? Actually, not a lot. I've got to be quite honest. Because I was pretty sure that we would get on at the level that we did because of the discussions that we had had, and I was not surprised. I don't think there was anything about Nana or Rick that really surprised me. So, not a lot changed after I met her. All right, so Nana's saying, oh, can I say thank you for all here last Friday when I was in hospital? It meant so much for us to be able to call our friends to pray for us. It was our pleasure to do that for you, Nana. And I thought it an incredible compliment to us that you did. Yeah. So Nana's saying we met a lot of times. I think we've met 3, if I'm correct on that one, Nana. Yeah, you did feed me as well. And I came back for more. Um, all right, so Nyasha. All right, so Nyasha, here is the thing. All right, and I'm going to start calling you on your stuff now, Nyasha, because you are getting so much stronger. All right, you know that if you cannot see to read the book of John, you can get it online and have it read to you. All right. And so, I think it's really important that, Nyasha, that you've got to a stage now where I'm going to make sure that we hold you accountable. And because the fact that I can't see it very well enough, I know you can see well enough to write to me and to respond to me and other things. So we know that you can do this. So I think, you know, you are going to be just fine, Yasha. You're going to be as fine as your mind allows you to. If you want to fester on this, you are going to be not so happy. Yeah. All right. So M's saying, what if you both meet and you both don't get along like you do chatting online? It is a risk we all take, M. It is definitely a risk that you take. I have met, I met a guy online one time. And the interesting thing that I found was when I met him, he envisioned me. This is really interesting. He envisioned me a lot younger than I am. And when I actually met him, he was stunned at how old I was. And for some reason, you know me, I'm not quiet about how old I am. But it was really interesting to me that happened, and quite honestly, it was a shock the way he reacted to that, and it took me a little while to adjust. But I decided not to be angry with him because he was honest enough to tell me that. Um, And, it took me a little while to adjust and get over it. Yeah, it's possible, but that happens in any relationship. So what if it doesn't, though, Em? Is this a love relationship you're thinking about meeting, or is this a friendship thing? Because I think it's different. What if they're way better? You're thinking about the worst. What if they're way better? I met somebody once when the internet first started. I met somebody that I'd met online, and quite honestly, when I met them, they were even better than I imagined. Yeah, Aaron. Yeah, you forget there's audio, Nyasha. You go right ahead. You listen to it if you want to, right? All right. So Emma's saying, no, I met my love relationship online years ago, and we have a son, right? This is a friend I've known for about 9 years. I worry because I find it hard to keep friends. Why? And that's a really good. Did you hear today's broadcast at lunchtime by any chance? I'd love to talk about that if you would let us. Is there anybody else that's on the feed at the moment that finds it hard to keep friends? So my question would be the other way around, which is, first of all, do you know why? Do you leave them, or do they leave you? And the other thing is, do you know why? I thought that quote that we put up last week, and thank you so much, Jody, for reminding me to put it up. That one, if the only thing you bring to the table is misery, don't be surprised if everybody gets up and leaves. I thought that was a great quote, because I think what happens is, if we are not nice to be around, then people won't stay around. When I say nice to be around, if you're always complaining, if you're always, talking ill of other people, then people sort of see that you could be doing the same. All right, so M saying, for example, chatting online, I feel free of anxiety and judgment. I can be 100% myself. In person, I am anxious. I can be seen as annoying. I'm shy. Okay, so that is your choice now. You know that you're not. Quite honestly, I've known you for a long time, and I have not found you annoying. I have found you reflective, would be the word I would use. Um, I know any time that we have triggered you by something we've been discussing, you have been reflective. You will go away and go think about it, and then you will come back. You see, I don't think Emma's saying that you haven't met me yet. I don't believe it's any different, quite honestly. I think it is who you are. I think it is who you are, Em. And, that sort of stuff comes through anyway. So I would say, thank you, Nana. Nana's just put up the um, link to the free Bible thing. So normally, Nana, that I ask that people get permission to put up a link like that, just so that because I can't allow you to do it and then stop somebody else from putting up a link. So normally, I would ask people to check with me before they do that. Wow, isn't it interesting? Em saying, I don't believe it's any different. That's what I said. That almost made me cry. I felt a relief there. I do believe that. From my experience of talking to people online and then meeting them, if you have been honest with them, in your talking online, then you won't find it difficult talking to them in person. Nana, I understand that it's the Bible, and I understand the intent was wonderful, but I hope you understand why I said people just putting up links is, this is YouTube, and if you put up a link, I can get punished for life because of it. And so, and I know it's the Bible. I got all of that. I hope you understand the principle. I'm trying to ask other people to be a little more aware. All right, so Jodie's saying, Emma, I found you to be delightful, intelligent, and humorous person with so much to offer in a friendship. Yeah. Fear is a big thing, though, says Em, right? What I think others may not. You know something? Em? Story of my life. Don't you think I have the same fear every time I go down to meet the ladies group? Right? Don't you think that Nana, I made the point. We don't need to talk about it anymore. I'm sure you understand both sides, right? It's like every time I go down to the ladies group, and by the way, I've already said things that didn't go down well because of the way I think, right? But they need to know who I am and make their own decisions. It's not about that I need to change to please them. It's about this is who I am. Make your decision. And some will like me and some won't, and I'm okay with it. And, I think you can be as well. You think you're very self-critical, or do you know? You're constantly looking at myself from the other person's perspective. You don't even know the other person's perspective. You are imagining the other person's perspective. That is the problem. Yeah, you just need to find the right people. It's all about quality of friendships, not quantity. I totally agree. Oh, you know something? It's interesting. Em saying, I wish I could delete that part of my brain. I want to tell you that that part of your brain has probably kept you safe. All right, that part of your brain has probably kept you safe. So don't go deleting it. My experience has been those negative things are normally there to protect you in some way. So take the risk if you want to. All right. Right? Take the risk if you want to. Or you can not take the risk and never know. The choice is yours. I reckon, what do you reckon, 50-50 chance maybe that, you might like them? What do you think? Hi, Kaz. Right. Now, Kaz is talking about a friendship that she had. Well done, Kaz. She's saying, I had to let a lot of friendships go because they wanted me to do 80% of the work to keep it going. They wouldn't even do 50-50. I got tired and I felt extremely let down. Yeah, I've had it happen too, Kaz. Totally agree. What if they don't like you? Their loss. All right. Their loss. What if they do like you? It's like as fast as you do these negatives, you need to just turn it around. It'll help you a great deal. All right, so you're saying online, we are the perfect best friend friendship. Isn't that wonderful? That means you've got probably a 75% chance that you're going to like each other. You don't want to lose that. Well, hello. If you don't take the risk, you will never know. I'd be devastated, but I got to try. Yes, that is the attitude. And you will learn from it. All right? I think you've got over 50% chance of it working. As I said, from the people that I met, I wasn't surprised when I met Erin. I wasn't surprised when I met Leah. I was a little surprised when I met Ace. I was pleasantly surprised when I met Angela. I had no idea. I had no idea whatsoever that Angela was as funny as she really is. When she's rolling on all cylinders, when Angela is not beating up on herself, she is the funniest people. And, it is amazing to me how that works out, right? And so each one of those was a risk. Can you understand that? Oh, you're asking me, do I ever just not know how to be around other people, though? Which personality do you choose? I have many. Well, I want to tell you something. Um, do you really want my answer? Because I can give it to you. All right, Kez, I'll give it to you in a second. Kez is saying they said that they did, but the action showed that they didn't. And now I realize I'm better off without them. Yeah, and my experience, quite honestly, seeing as you asked for my honest answer on this, I quite honestly used to put up different personalities as well, because I was a performer. And I guess occasionally I still fall into that. But today I realize that all those bits of me are part of me. And so I now try to only put forward one personality. And that one personality has great humor at times, but she also knows that I can hurt people with that one line thing. I can make people laugh a lot, but I can also hurt people with a one liner. I realize that, like everybody else, I've got good points and bad points, and I'm never going to please them all. You see, when I've been meeting the ladies, I'm trying to work at listening more and feeding back. Do you know what active listening is? And I really am working that skill of active listening because that is helping me build better pictures and better friendships. And by the way, the lady that I said to her, please ring the doorbell because I got this fancy doorbell. She's rung it 3 times and I haven't heard it. All right. So I'm saying I relate. I can also be who they want me to be. I can change myself to make them more comfortable, happier. Don't do that. Don't do that. Be the person you are most comfortable as and let them adjust to that would be my recommendation. Judith saying, I think you also get a certain point where you don't care as much what other people think of you. Take me as you find me. Yeah. I think what makes my good friends is they can take me in a good mood or a bad mood. They can laugh with me and they can cry with me. They can love me to pieces and they can hit me with a 2x4. You see, my good friends, my deep friends, are my friends. I don't have to pretend to be anything for them. I just am self. And, my question to you would be, when you watch the vlogs, do you think you know the real me or do you think there is another me hidden underneath here that you don't know? Oh, interesting. M saying I'm a very deep person. People find that overwhelming. So I become lighter around others. Why? Why? Means if you become lighter around people so they like you better, once they like you, then you go deep again, they're going to be totally confused. So don't do that. I met one person. Do you remember that last year sometime? I don't know if you saw that vlog, where I met somebody and she actually said of me, boy, um, what was the word they used? Intense. Boy, she is intense. Right? I've never seen myself as intense, but when I thought about it, I thought, yeah, I guess to some people, I could be that intense. And I am. And so are you, Em. And that's probably why you liked me in the first place. of course you don't want them to go, but you know something, if they can't handle your intensity, then they're not going to be a friend. All right. My friends can handle my intensity. They can even roll their eyes when I get, that passionate about stuff. They just go, "You really so." I go, "Oh, sorry." You know, but there's nothing wrong with being intense. It's not your job to lighten up so that people will like you. It is your job to be who you are. You see, I used to do this with my relationships, where if I was out with a guy and he said, "Do you like curry?" If I thought he did, I'd say yes. Or "Do you like bungee jumping?" If I thought he'd like me more, I'd say, yeah, I never did say yes bungee jumping, but you understand what I'm saying, Em. And then what happens? I get into a relationship and they find out I don't like curry and I'm scared of heights. How confusing is that? But hang on a second. When we were dating, you had curry and what? you know, uh, don't live the lie. Be who you are. And some people are going to love your intensity. Some people are really going to appreciate it. And I want to tell you, if you've met somebody online and you've been talking for as long as I think you have, then I got news for you. They can handle your intensity. Wow, how about that? I'm saying people fascinate me. I can even idolize them through pure fascination. To have them leave is difficult. Yeah, that's almost an obsession type thing, right? But I get fascinated by people as well. It's my. I think people are fascinating. I really do. I think they're absolutely fascinating, and I learn something from everybody I meet, and I love them for that. Oh, I want to tell you, it can be heartbreaking, but you remember what we say. Hang on a second. Um, um, okay, it's really important that you understand that we meet people, and sometimes it's for a reason that we meet them. Sometimes this is for a season, for a short time, and sometimes we will roll on together forever. All right. So if you meet somebody and it's only for a reason that maybe you don't even understand right now, um, they have given you what you needed to get, or you have given them what they needed, and you can move on knowing that you've done what you needed to do, even if you don't understand it. If it's for a season, then that means it took, the lessons take a little bit longer. But it doesn't mean that when the season is over that you have failed in any way. It's like that relationship has run its course. So what I hear you say to me, and it's wrong in my view, uh, is that that when they leave, that hurts. Well, of course it does. Of course it does. You don't think that everybody that's left me in a relationship that it didn't hurt. But I've learned so much. Um, you've known you've known me long enough to know that we've had relationships, people that have been part of the DearMamaSal family that up and, got upset or whatever and left. Did it hurt? Sure. But did it stop me? No. No, you see, my job is not to go chasing after that. My job is to go, okay, that's for a reason or a season. It's not for a lifetime. And it's okay, right? And as you've known, that sometimes people come back and it's great. My job is just to keep going. I don't. I've said to Jody many, many times, our job is not to go find the viewers. The viewers will find us when they need us. That is my experience. And whether they stay in that relationship or not is not important, because when they need us again, they know where to find us because we are consistent. Does that make any sense? They know that I broadcast twice on a Friday and once on a Sunday. So if they're in trouble, most of them will remember my name enough to be able to write to me if they need to. That is my relationship. That is what I said. I want to be that consistent so people can get help if they need it. And Em, you'll be surprised how many pretend friends there are that only ever contact me when they're in trouble. All right. And so, the rest of the time they don't care how I am, but when they're in trouble, they're suddenly a friend again. Interesting stuff. Yeah, I'm glad you understand it. So I want to just acknowledge that you're thinking of taking this risk. When are you thinking of taking the risk? That's amazing. I'm so excited. You said July. Now let's rush it. July. Okay. Don't talk yourself out of it. All right. I'm excited. What can I say? I know that when Becca met Jenny Gengen, that changed her life in some way, right? That she's got this very special relationship that the rest of us don't have because she met Jenny Gengen one-on-one, and they exchanged milk. I mean, go figure that one. Jenny Gengen had never had, was it Jenny Gengen that had never had fresh milk, or was it Becca? I can't remember which way round it was, but one of them had never tasted unpasteurized milk, and the one took it for the other so that they could taste it. I thought that was so beautiful. I like this one, Jody. A true friend will bring your credit score down. Yeah, I was being sarcastic. And I just realized I said I was going to give that up for Lent. Yeah, you were laughing because of, yeah, don't rush it. Right? It's July. I did think it might be next week. Yeah, you're quite right. But there's the other part of me. I don't know if you saw my reaction, but once I said don't rush it, I went, no, she wouldn't. It's not who you are. You would plan this out because of who you are, and you would make it a public place, to make sure you're safe, and you would do all the right things. I'm delighted. I'm going to put it down as something we're going to look forward to, please, Jody. I'm going to put it on the timeline that in July, Emma's going to take this risk. Can I do that? I'm so proud of you. By the way, if it doesn't feel right, I'll just take it off. This is not pressurizing you to do it. I just want to get it. I don't want to forget it. That's the thing. We don't see you all the time. So I don't want to forget it. You got sweaty palms already. Does this person know that she has that much influence on your life? Okay, because I really don't want to, to me, that's like a red letter day for you. It's really important. How do you like this one? Sometimes I look at my friends and I think to myself, where did I meet these crazy people? But then I think, what would I do without them? Isabel saying, it's funny, I don't talk much, language barrier. But each time somebody comes up with a subject that speaks to me so clearly, take the risk, Emma. You seem so nice. So, Isabel, that tells me that sometime in your life you didn't take the risk. Is that possibly true? Or did you take the risk and were pleasantly surprised, perhaps? Isabel, I never have needed you to talk a great deal. I just know you're always lurking. And I love you for it, because I know that you have helped many people. It doesn't require that you say a lot to have a big impact. I think there are a lot of us here that go, our life is made more beautiful each week by the fact that you're around. And I know how big your heart is because what you did when you went to New Jersey and took that footage for Jody because she couldn't see it. You see, they're the little things that people do that tell me a lot about them. And to me, I am very proud of you for all that you do. You have a really big heart. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for being who you are, Isabel. And just be who you are. And it doesn't matter if all 5 of your personalities come to play. All right, let me ask you something. Have you ever seen my analytical side? Have you ever seen my child come out to play? Have you ever seen my critical adults? Have you ever seen, I could, really just reel them all off, and I'm pretty sure you've seen them all. Yeah, you've seen them, but they're all part of me. It's not like which one should I use? They are all me. You love them all. Oh. But do you understand? You don't judge me because I've got one or the other. You know they're all part of who I am. If you catch me on a good day, I'm going to be incredibly stupid, and and you're going to love it, right? I am pretty sure that you all. I'm about to edit the video of when I made the desk that I bought, and I'm pretty sure you will all know that it did not go easily. All right. That, I am one of those people, I'll put it together and then if it doesn't work, I read the instructions. I'm certain some of you relate to that, but I literally put it together and took it apart about 3 times until it worked. You have so many quirks. I know I do, Em, and it makes me who I am. It's not that I need to cover them up. It's like that is what makes me who I am. I want to tell you, Jody, one of the things that Jody found out about me that she didn't know until she and I became friends. Would you like to know? I have the ability to let them free, Emma, because I give them permission. I give myself permission to be who I am. Yeah. Jody, what did you find out about my tenacity when you and I became friends? Because I've got to ask you to explain that because I remember how shocked you were when that part of me first came out. And now how much you know not to worry about when I'm struggling with something. Jody has written here, you will not be beaten. I take it very personally when a piece of electronic equipment or a desk decide that they don't want to work. Okay. And I have this side of me that doesn't quit. Right? I'll keep going until I understand it or until it works. And it may take me a day or a month or a year or a decade. And with tears in my eyes, Jody says, you put in whatever time it takes to get the job done. Jody has seen me more than once and maybe more than once every month or even every week start to edit a video that goes totally wrong. Some I can have to edit them 2 or 3 times. Sometimes the edit goes well, but the upload takes 3 hours. And I've got to wait for the upload to be able to tweak it and do everything and release it. Jody knows that 9 times out of 10, I will not quit on that. I will stay up until it's done, which is why sometimes you will get a vlog go up at one time of the day and another time it'll go up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Guess why? If it goes up at 3 o'clock in the morning, it means that I was fighting it till 3 o'clock in the morning. And Jody knows that she didn't know that about me before she and I became friends. All right. And quite honestly, I never thought it was a big thing until Jody talked about that. Emma's asking me, how do you find Dutch people, Sal? I don't find Dutch people. You know, that's where I was born. That's all. Can your place of birth become a barrier in a friendship? Only with people that have got an issue. You know, it's none. You know, I have no control over where I was born. My parents dropped me there at the time. So why would anybody use that against me? And if I meet somebody who uses my place of birth against me, this is not somebody I need to be friends with. Why? Because if something like that would affect the friendship, then, you know, really. And this is, I would not relate well to this person. Okay, word it a different way, Em. How can your place of birth become a barrier in a friendship? Give me a for instance so I can understand it better. You're doing great, by the way. Talking about it is really going to help clear that path a little bit more for you. So, Jody, anything else that you found out by being a closer friend than you thought you were going to be? All right, so Emma's saying things like your humor, the customs. You know, the fact that I'm English as a second language, can that work against me or for me? Depends who I meet. My sense of humor, can that work for me or against me? It depends who I meet. I think people need to get used to my sense of humor because it's unusual. You know, it's a little strange. My customs, we all got funny little customs, right? I've got some of my customs are from England, some of them are from Africa, some of them are from, you know, Holland. You know, it's just like, it's part of what makes me interesting. You see, I don't think they work against me. But you know something, like when I went to the ladies group and one of the ladies there, you know, is from Europe. She's from Germany. I am amazed how that caused a link for us, or created a link, because I would say something and I would just look at her and I say, you know, coming from Europe, you would understand why that was important to me. And, you know, she just sit there and nod at me. Why? Because she knows that that is the culture from Europe. All right, so she told you that Dutch people are not like others. They're from Holland. They're not like others. They're more stern. Okay, they're more serious. Yes, I would say so. Oh, and Jody is saying, and MacGyver isn't just a TV show. You are a real life problem solver. It doesn't matter if you have everything you need or almost nothing with which to do it. It gets done, period. Actually, and you are very funny. um, okay, hang on 1 second. All right, I want to show you something because I'm not sure that I had it in the I'm not sure that I had it in the blog that is going to go up. I haven't edited it yet. Hang on a second. Judith's saying, I think some things can get lost in translation, like colloquialisms, yes, turns of phrase and sarcasms, but it's fun learning together. There you go. Yes, you know something? I agree with you, Emma, about that being very quick. I found that my British sense of humor was a problem for some people because it was too fast. But you put me next to somebody who's got that level of humor, you know, we go insane. All right, so Jody and anybody else who sees the video of me building the desk, there comes a point in building the desk where I have to put the feet on, and it's like futon, but feet on, the feet on, and the feet had a hole in it that you had to drill a screw into, which is fine, no problem, but it was a long hole. So I took my bit and I took out my little bit and put in my big bit like this, and then in goes my bit, and guess what? The hole was too small for me to have this go down into it. Now I got a problem. What I need is another screwdriver. This one is not going to work. Now, you know, I've got about 16 screwdrivers, but they're all packed up. So I went hunting, do I have anything that will do? Now, first of all, do you all know what a Phillips screw head looks like? Hang on, let me do this way. This is a Phillips. Looks like a star. Okay, so now I go through, and the only screwdriver I can find is a pathetic little one it's plastic and not very strong, and it is something to do with a craft toy that I have. And if you look at it, it isn't even a Phillips. Now, what Jody is talking about is, you know, I think Lionel's expression is any port in a storm. Is it a screwdriver that may work? Yes, therefore it's worth trying. And, you know, this end was not made for serious screwing of screws, never mind 4 of them because we've got 4 legs. And, you know, the amount of pressure and pain in my palm doing it was immense, especially because it's narrow, and with arthritis, you understand this wasn't easy. So when you watch the video, you will understand why I'm so proud of the desk. Judith is saying, I have a good friend from the Netherlands, and there are still things I have to explain, but it works as well, have more in common than more things in common than things that make us different, right? I am amazed at her grasp of English. Yes, you know, it's the same thing, right? I feel the same way. And Em's saying she is describing her power tools. I'm impressed. I probably wouldn't know how to turn a drill on. Oh, well, I want to tell you, I am pretty good with my power, and you know it's a gizmo, and it goes backwards too, Em. And it has a light. See that? You know, very useful little tool. And by the way, Em, you know, it's like somebody said to me, would you have a Phillips screwdriver? And I will go to them, what size Phillips would you like? You know, because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 1 in it. I've got 10 different Phillips screwdrivers. You know, which is like, yeah, which one would you like? So, life is what we make it. I could have left that desk alone and, you know, paid somebody to put it together for me or whatever. I knew I could do it. It just was going to take me time. By the way, by the time I built the desk, have you seen the desk, Em? It'll be up. It'll be up as soon as I've edited, probably the next day. But you know, it was like it took me way longer than I thought. Getting it as far as I've taken it probably took me 4 hours. Now, would it have been quicker to just go to a store and buy one, probably. Oh, it's so cute. You were watching the bottle video. It's interesting that you call it the bottle video. Now, the table's not up yet. I haven't edited it yet. It's the next one to be edited. So it will come up in the next couple of days. So did you like the bottle opener, though? That, you see, to me, what I found interesting was Benji said, "Do you know, where's the bottle opener?" And I said, "Oh, it's next to the wine." And he got it out and he sort of looked at it, and it's pretty self-evident how it works because I've used it myself. And, you know, it was so funny watching him because you could tell as he worked it, he did not expect it to work on the way out, right? He made it look really easy. The reason was he didn't expect that it was going to come out the way that it did. Even Benji was surprised, right? And that's what made it, that's why I was so pleased to have it on video, because you could, I didn't have his face, but his face was sort of like, oh. And by the way, the wine is awesome. And so, you know, it's just like, yeah, welcome back, man. You know, it really is just take humor. So to me, what I'm trying to point out here is the things that Jody knows about me by working with me are different from the most things that people would know, but I'm not necessarily hiding those things from other people. It is that you won't really see them. Would that be true, Jody? You won't really see them until you work with me one-on-one. I think that would be fair. So, you know, it's not that I'm hiding them or covering them up. They won't come into play unless you are working with me at a, you know, fairly intense level. So Jody gets to see them because, you know, we work together so much during, that's pretty warm now, during the week. Makes sense, Em? So you don't worry about what you show and what you don't show. If you've been talking together for 7 years, they know most about you. All right. I don't think Jody was surprised that I was a MacGyver type. She probably was surprised to the depth of my MacGyverisms. Yeah, and Jody's saying 100%, it's the circumstances under which we are working that show up these things. Emma's saying, I want to be honest and get into detail, but I have to leave some things alone. I do have to say it's very difficult to hold back. You know something? I'm understanding because I understand. I've been there. You know, one of the things that I fell into the trap of so many times, Emma, was I turned myself into a pretzel to try and please other people. I don't do that anymore. You know, if you piss me off, you're going to know. You know, if, you know, if I will set my boundaries, I will do those things. Well, the interesting thing is, and you know, I'm saying it's difficult not to. It's difficult to not shut up. Do you mean it's difficult to stop talking when you're talking with me? Truth is saying, I have a friend who was asking for my advice, and I said, check out DearMamaSal. So, you know, you look at it and you understand this. You know, I don't have all the answers, nor do I claim to do that. But what I am looking for is that we all take another step. The only thing that's really important here, Em, is that you're thinking about meeting her in July. And I think that is awesome. It's such a risk. And there is a potential that it won't work well. Oh, that is so cute. Em saying, anyone else? I just want to tell Sal everything. It's amazing. I never met anyone who I felt comfortable to want to talk to. You know something? I have a story that I tell about a young lady who came to visit me. And within 20 minutes, she was telling me stuff that was mind-blowing. And I stopped her and I said, I need to ask you a question. And she said, what's that? I said, does your doctor know about this? And she goes, oh, no. I said, how long have you had her as a doctor? Oh, about 10 years. What about your counselor? Does your counselor know about this? No. How long have you been going to the counselor? Well, about 2 years. I don't know about you, but I said to them, you've been in my house, sitting in my couch for 20 minutes. Why are you telling me? She said, because you care. Just like that, because you care. And I said, yeah, but they care. You know, your doctor cares. Your counselor cares. And she said, they get paid to care. You know, and it was like, but you're paying me. And she goes, it's different. It's different. And I said, okay. Now, I'm not saying that other than M, what I'm saying is that they need to meet you to find out how much of the stuff you've been telling them actually is who you are. And they're going to be pleasantly surprised. They're going to be very pleasantly surprised. Judith, I made a commitment. You're saying here that I make myself available. I made myself a commitment when I did YouTube. Win or lose, I said, I am going to be who I am, and I'm going to tell people the truth as best I can. In other words, there are some things I will keep private, but for the day-to-day stuff, I'm going to tell the truth because I think people need to hear that life is not as easy as it looks on YouTube. And I think they need to see that we all struggle. It's not just the other people, the viewers that struggle. The people doing the videos struggle, even though they don't care to show you that. Yeah, I want to tell you something. I've had people talk to me about my energy, in that term. People, saying, if people could see the energy, yours would be very caring and all over the place. It's felt. I want to tell you, we're talking aura energies. I've had people who see auras and they will go, wow. I go, what's wow? And they said, do you know what your aura looks like? I said, yeah, I got a pretty good idea. It's like, and it happens to me actually, and I don't mind telling you that. Every now and then I will do a broadcast, and I know that it was not me talking. I mean, my lips were flapping, but that information was coming to me from somewhere else. So, yeah. All right. So sleep well, honey. And thank you for sharing, because I know it will have helped somebody else as well as you. You did not absorb my energy. I'm a big girl. I shared it, and I'm happy to share it with you. You know that. All right. I'll share it with you any day. And you know that too. That's why you come back. You can do this. And we're looking forward to July. Who else is looking forward to July? Anybody, or am I the only one? Sleep tight, honey. It's going to be such fun. All right, here we go. This is a nice quote. True friends don't judge each other. They judge other people together. Nice one, Jody. And how about this one? Best friends, they know how crazy you are, and they still choose to be seen with you in public. How many of you know that I always say that about Marnie? Whenever Marnie and I go out together in public, it's like, she can be such a klutz sometimes, delightful, but such a klutz. All right. It's just like whenever we go out, and I cannot tell you how many times we've been at some pretty fancy restaurant, and, Marnie will, the glass of wine goes over or whatever. And I will just, with a totally straight face, it's very important that you do this, with a straight face. I will just with a totally straight face when the waiter comes to clear up the mess she's made. I will look at them and I go, we don't go out very often together. You probably know why now. And sometimes I get to actually go back twice, but not often. And you know why? And the serving person will sort of look at me and go, yeah, right. But you have to do it with a totally straight face. And Marnie, in the meantime, is just, cracked up laughing. How about this one? Friends buy you food. Best friends eat your food. Isn't that cute? Well, this one, Jody, I think we might put this one up as our quote. I like this one a lot. Never let your friends feel lonely. Disturb them at all times. And what time of the day do you text your friends is the question, right? And I find the best time for me to text Yvonne, now that I'm not living upstairs anymore. By the way, I was asking her what the noise level is now that I'm not there. But, the best time for me to talk to Yvonne is about 2:00 in the morning when she's finished with Papa and she's winding down. And so, around about 1:30, 2:00, I will send Yvonne a text. All right, Judith's saying, I have a friend like that. Our last night out was like a comedy of errors. We laughed so much. Good for the soul friend. Soul friends are important. You absolutely, I believe that. If you don't touch my soul, you're probably not at that level of friends with me. All right. People who touch my soul, I'm in. There's a different sense to it at some level. All right. They respect my boundaries. They think in a very interesting way to me, and I love them for that. That's why I treasure them. Right, and how about this one? Best friends don't care if your house is clean. They care if you have wine. Now, Dougie is coming tomorrow, and I have a list of things for Dougie to help me with. How many of you, think that's weird? It's a very short list. It's only 3 things on it. And I wonder if you'd like to know what the 3 things are that are important enough to me to have Dougie help me with them tomorrow. And I think you all know that on the list is to help me put the mechanism together that will lift my fancy coffee table into a desk. So what will happen? The coffee table goes down, but you can lift it up and it becomes a desk. So that is, I need his help because I cannot hold that lid and screw in the screws at the same time. So that's really high on my list because I want that working. The second thing on my list is that I need him to help me find the box that holds the brass jugs, the horse brasses, and the hunting horn. All right. So, because I know those things, I know some people are waiting for me to unpack those. So this is my gift to you via Doug. I cannot lift those boxes. They're in the shed at the back, and I just couldn't lift the boxes on top of them. And I thought, when Doug comes, he can help me do that. I did have another thing on the list that I have crossed off because I managed to do it myself. And the third thing I wanted him to help me with yes. This desk came with an awful lot of styrofoam attached to it. protecting it. It was really well wrapped, by the way. I bought this via Home Depot, but direct link to the manufacturer, and it was really well wrapped. And I thought that had that really strong styrofoam in it. Now you know me, I don't like to waste anything if I don't. And I suddenly thought, do I have a use for really strong styrofoam? And I thought, yes, I want to lift a couple of my units up enough that the air flows underneath them. And I'm thinking those white styrofoam, I can cut them and they will look great because they're white and they will lift up high enough. And I think they will be strong enough as well. We'll find out. All right, so Jody is reminding me that it's time for the countdown. I added something to the countdown today. Oh, I know what it was. All right, so let's do this. For those of you who are romantic, you've got another 11 months and 21 days until the next Valentine's Day. You have 300 more shopping days until Christmas. You've got 9 months and 6 days to get your overseas Christmas cards in the mail. If you are in any way related to the US, you have 9 months and 1 day until Thanksgiving. And we Canadians have only 7 months and 16 days because ours is earlier. If you are in Canada, you have 2 months and 1 day until your taxes are due. And if you're in the US, you have 1 month and 16 days until your taxes are due. Thought I'd add that. All right, and for those of you who celebrate Easter, you are already in Lent, and now you have 1 month and 13 days left until Easter. For all of us counting our way down to spring, we have just 19 little days left. And for those of you in the Southern Hemisphere, you have 19 days left until fall. We will be turning back our clocks 1 week from tomorrow, actually from Sunday. And for those of you who've noticed that life has been a little bit strange in the last week, it's because Mercury is now in retrograde, and you can blame all the bad stuff on Mercury, as I have been doing. So I am hoping that those made some sense to you. Now then, the other thing that Jody is reminding me about, and I will do that. Jody, it's difficult to see the boxes because of the light. So I'll take out my new pointy pen here. This is box number 1. Very difficult to do it backwards. Box number 1 is that one. Box number 2 is challenging. There we go, that one. And box number 3 is that one. A pointy pen, you like that? So which box do you vote for me to open this week? And by the way, it was really interesting, the stuff in last week's box. If you saw the video, I actually did record what was in it for you. So you get to vote, box 1, 2, or 3. Box number 3, 3, 3. Oh, I definitely had 3. So I'll have a clear shelf. Great idea. Okay. Oh, it's a light box. Light box could be challenging. Let me see. In here. Oh, it's such a nice box. Thank you, guys. Okay. What do I have in here? I have vacuum seal bags. A potato peeler. Gizmos. The second fondue set. A juicer. burger maker. Muffin trays. Serious muffin trays. And more serious muffin trays. Now, all these we can put away immediately. These are going straight away. Not quite as easy as I thought. Gone. This. This. I'm putting them in places where I can find them again. Okay. The universal storage types. Right? Okay. There. The fondue. I'm actually going to put this fondue, because it's the second one, and the potato peeler into the shed, the garden shed, because it has got bookcases in it where I can put those. So do you understand my thinking? I know where they're going to be. They can handle the cold. They don't have to be in the house. I know where to find them if I need them. So I'm going to start putting those sort of things into the garden shed. So, one box more done. So happy. Thank you, guys. Now, it's pouring with rain. So the chances that they're going to go in the garden shed tonight is 0 to none. No, 50-50. You know me, part of me just on principle is going to get out my flashlight, go walk in the rain now, because it is all of 4 steps. And I would like the place to be a bit tidy for when Dougie comes tomorrow. So I hope you enjoyed that. You see how easy it is sometimes? And that's why I like packing in those smaller boxes, is because it really helps. And what I've got is, as I walk from the kitchen to my bedroom, there are 3 boxes opened in the craft room. And every day I just keep taking things out of there and putting them away. And I am already, getting lower. I've done 1 row already, and I'm now on the next row. So I'm really pleased with that. And, there are only 3 rows there. So that's the way to do it. Now, obviously, there's a lot of work to be done in the studio, but I've done enough that I think I can start painting if I really want to. I just want to find one more thing, and then I will start doing that. So let me ask you something. You've taken your time to be here and join us for a smile. Did you learn anything today? Did you feel that you learned anything? Did any of you learn anything from listening to Emma's situation? All right, because what I want you all to see, it is because we talk about these things that we learn. And that's why I love it when people are brave enough to talk about what the issues are for them, because, this is... Never mind. Those pens do not want to go where I want them to go. And I'll sort them out after the broadcast, which is very soon. How many of you found it interesting how I got really challenged? By the way, I cannot tell you, I put that thing together. I put that thing together and took it apart, I would think, about 3 different times. I thought I understood the instructions, but like life, when I actually tried to do what they were telling me to do, it wasn't worded well, and I got it wrong. And I kept thinking how That is so much like life. Oh, it's interesting. Isabel say, oh, first of all, Jody's saying, I learned a lot from the conversation you had with them. Isabel saying, I have learned that we sometimes assume what the other person thinks. Oh, gosh, yes. And that scares us, right? And we got it totally wrong. We really don't know unless we ask them. That is so true, Isabel. All right. You could see how Em had already decided what the other person thought. You know, I noticed that in Em's thinking, she didn't turn it around. It was all about that she was going to fail this thing. Yeah, I think that's awesome. You see, if you just learned that one thing this week, imagine how that could change your life. Yeah, I spent a long time in my life thinking I knew what people thought of me. And you know, quite honestly, sometimes that happened to be I thought that they liked me. And then I found out that wasn't true at all. They just were polite. You know, apparently there's a difference. Think about that. And you know, it took time for me to find out what they really thought about me. And I went, oh, I wish I'd known that earlier. I wouldn't have wasted so much time. All right, so Jody's saying it is a disservice to oneself if you place unrealistic expectations on others and on yourself too. Yeah, if you got that lesson from today's chat, it was well worth doing. All right, everybody, I'm getting out of here and I'm going to tidy up. I'm going to tidy up my kitchen. How many of you going? It's fairly tidy. What you can't see is what I shoved to the one side so that I could do the broadcast. Yes, isn't that true? Self-doubt is a hard thing to get over. You know, I totally related to what Em said about what if they don't like me? But you know, you all know that if you've been talking to somebody for 7 years, did she say 7 years? I think. You've got a pretty good idea. All right. You've got a pretty good idea who they are. You won't have all the pieces of the puzzle because people very rarely share all the pieces of a puzzle. You know, I wanted to make the comment about what Jody has found out working with me as closely as she now does. All right, because she knew things about me, but maybe not that little part. All right, Kez is saying, I learned that it's better to show the real you than the fake you. And the right people will like you showing the real you. Yeah, why waste your time? That's, you know, I wasted so much of my time, Kez, trying to be the person that other people wanted me to be, when quite honestly, I made a lot better friends just being the crackpot that I am. It was like somebody, you know, when I got upset on one of the vlogs, and you know, it's like, you know, how many of you saw the vlog where after I watched the memorial to Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gigi, you know, I was devastated, but funny enough, it wasn't just from watching the Kobe Bryant side of it, it was watching Jimmy Kimmel cry. And then to watch 6'7", whatever he is, of Magic Johnson stand up there and start to talk about Kobe, and the tears were not just letting loose, they were cascading out of his eyes. And you go, that it was heartbreaking to watch. And he kept going, like the performer he is. He didn't let it stop him. He just kept going with what he was talking about, and he didn't care that he was crying. This was like, I have a job to do, and the fact I'm crying is second to the job that I need to do. And I think more than anything, as I watched that memorial, you know, as I watched Jimmy Kimmel, is Jimmy Kimmel a tried and true performer? Does he know how to meet a big crowd and contain himself? You bet. He's been doing it for years. But I want to tell you, I have never heard Jimmy Kimmel where he basically couldn't talk. He was so upset. And it was just so incredibly human. And I loved them both that much more for showing people that even though you are a performer at that level, that you can still feel that much. And I guess that is my message to you. That is, if you are real, people will continue to learn things about you. All right? But they will know a lot about you if you are real. If you are busy trying to be this person to this person, that person to another, there is no authenticity, right? And being authentic is really what it's about. I know that one of the things that I have talked with Jodie about is, we'll be discussing a problem and I will say to her, yeah, I can't do that. My integrity won't allow me to. It's not that Jodie's asked me to do something against my integrity, but, and it's just like, I realize that I will talk to Jodie about things that concern me in terms of integrity or whatever. And so I think you all can understand now that the level of friendship will develop the level of trust. The level of trust will release more information, and that information can be very serious or very funny. Don't expect one without the other. The chances are the more you trust, the more you will learn. And the more they trust you, the more you will learn. And that's how you gauge a friendship. If the friendship only goes to this level and never gets deeper than that, then there's something that's, a block there. And it may not be your stuff, it may be theirs, or it may be that the other person just doesn't want to let you that next step farther because they don't trust, the use of that information or whatever. And it's important to know. Not all people are going to trust you to the level that you would like to. Jodie, how many times have I said to you, you would like that person to do what you would do? And they're not going to because they're not at your level yet. You see, it's all about understanding those little things. It's not that that person is wrong or bad or whatever. They just haven't learned that much yet. So make your friends and enjoy them, knowing that, like Kobe Bryant, they can be here today and gone tomorrow, and you never got a chance to say goodbye. So take the time to let your friends know they're special, and take the time to keep asking more questions and finding out more about what really makes your friend tick, because the chances are you will help them discover that. This is DearMamaSal saying, I hope you got to smile a bit. I did. I'm very selfish. Jodie, thank you for a great job on these quotes. I didn't get to finish them, but let's make a mark where I stopped so we can use those for the next time. And Jodie's saying, I treasure you, Sal, and all of DearMamaSal. Well, isn't that wonderful? And my humor's going, I wish I could say the same, Jodie. And then I remember it's Lent and I promise to be nice. But I'm still going to be me, Jode. You know that. My sincere hugs to you all. Look after your friendships. They're very precious. Build new ones all the time because you never know if you're going to lose a couple. This is DearMamaSal saying, thank you for being here. And if I can do this right, bye-bye for now.